Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Converse about the Verse. My name is Black,
And I'm Ruby.
and we are here to talk about the Weekend Star Citizen. And hopefully everybody can hear us okay and everything's working. We are kind of like cutting it close here with our time. And I have this here, this lovely helmet. So bear with me as I try to, be able to see things. It's you can see through it a little bit, but it's like
Yeah,
a little hazy.
definitely not good for space though.
No, it's not good for space. We've learned that the hard way in Star Citizen, where if you get a helmet like this, you pretty much, can't breathe and die. Here, let me go ahead and give her a treat before she kills me here. But anyway, we are here to talk about the Week of Star Citizen. Like I said, my name is Black. And as you can see, it's Halloween Eve. So I am dressed. Ruby was going to be wearing this. What happened, Ruby?
I didn't get my stuff in time.
She didn't get her order in time.
It's held up in customs.
Yes, held up in customs. So I don't have everything. There's another piece I need to get. I couldn't get it here in time either, but I got the majority of this going here. So yeah. But anyway, so our show, we usually talk about the game Star Citizen. We go over the week in the news from basically last Thursday, Friday to now. For those of you who do not know us, I have been playing Star Citizen since 2021. I started creating content for it, I think that same year, maybe 2022. I really got into it more, but I was already kind of creating content somewhere else for another game. So kind of part-time, but I decided to do it here because I like the community so much. And yeah. So, Ruby, when did you start playing Star Citizen?
About 2 years ago.
Yep.
So a couple of years. I waited So if you're not aware, I wait until Black tries out a game before I invest time into it because I don't play during the week. I only play on the weekends.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that the time I get to play is something I want to do.
Yeah, there's been times where we played games and didn't give it enough time to get her into it, or she waited a little too long and we kind of got through it, especially with survival games, because anyway, they're a whole thing. But yeah, once I started realizing that Star Citizen was this long-term thing, I was like, Ruby, you got to get into this, even though it's unlike anything we've ever done before. So yeah, and if you are new and you've never played Star Citizen before and you're watching this video for whatever reason, I don't know why this would be one of your first videos you ever watch, but if you are, just understand that Star Citizen is many, many things. So you could have played a game that was a survival game, or you could have played a game that was an MMO, or you could be someone who plays like Call of Duty games or whatever. Star Citizen kind of has all that on top of having a very decent flight sim, so you can fly spaceships, and it's not really automated like in other space games. So Star Citizen can be a lot of things. Sometimes people think it's too many things, and that's why it's taken so long, and they call it's in development hell, if you will. But yeah, so anyway, that's us. That's what we do. That's how long we've been playing. So for our show, the next thing we like to do is our question of the week. Ruby?
With engineering coming, will you be wanting to be an engineer or still at a turret, or still a turret rat or pilot?
Yes. Will you be an engineer, or will you be a turret rat, or continue to be a pilot? Ruby, go ahead.
I will be an engineer.
This is my engineer right here. She will definitely be an engineer. She's looking forward to it, I believe.
Yep.
I don't want to speak for her. And you'll find out later in the show why we're talking about that, why we brought this question. I will be a pilot, but if I happen to be on a ship that's being piloted by someone else, like say something really big or something, I would rather do engineering than be a turret, because I'm terrible. Well, I don't have a lot of practice at being in a turret because I usually end up flying. Yeah. So my turret skills are like, all right. So that is our question of the week. Feel free, whether you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube, to comment below on what you would do, because we'd be curious to find out what you guys would like to do. If you're excited for engineering, or maybe, you just want to pilot, whatever. All right. So now we come up to the part, which is what we did in game last week. And here we can go ahead and Oh Lord, I'm gonna be looking up all crazy and stuff. We'll show you. We like to try to show you guys a little bit of what we did. And so what we did last week was in our group play that we do on Friday nights in our org/Discord, is that we went out and actually did the snake. So let me see how far this is played. It's pretty far in. Let's put it back. I did put it back, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
leading into the
Yeah.
tunnel.
So we did the ASD snake for the first time as a group. We kind of had probably too many people for it because you're probably going to get the best out of it with like maybe 4 to 5 players. Anything more than that's kind of like overkill. This is like too far back.
You just restarted it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I thought I was. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, we did the snake for the first time with our group. What'd you think about the fight?
Oh yeah, it was great. I stayed crouched and I stayed by a rock the whole time, and yeah, so I got hit a couple times when the snake did like the AOE.
Oh yeah, when it does like it goes
the
like
sweeping.
Across. Yeah, the sweep.
Yeah, the sweep.
Yeah.
I got hit once with that, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that hey, welcome Kenji. He said engineers making him question closing his CCU for a Star Lancer attack if it will become too much to solo. I don't know if the TAC. I've heard people say that the TAC is probably is probably either right there on it to where it's either the cutoff to where you're gonna be okay still or you're not. I think there's still a lot left to adjust with it. So I don't know. I'm not sure that it's going to be that. I'd wait. I'm not saying wait to get the ship because if you're doing a CCU, you can always just hold on and not complete it. But I don't know. I'd say wait and see how engineering comes before you decide on that. Also, Kenji, if you come out with us, and you want to bring your TAC, odds are you're going to have somebody that can help you too. So, I think usually we end up playing like last week whenever we came out to the snake. I took the Asgard for this, I believe.
You did.
Was it the Asgard? Or did I take?
No, you took the Asgard.
Okay, took the Asgard. I couldn't remember which character I was on.
Yeah, and then Ronan took his was it Constellation? Is Connie?
Yeah, he showed up. Yeah. We ended up having like 4 or 5 people on the Asgard, and you only need 2 for the Asgard. So we had like 3 or 4 people literally just sitting around. So we usually have people that aren't either in a turret or so you definitely and if you ever just want to use your ship and you want somebody to engineer for you, just speak up because we're definitely okay with people bringing their ship. I know I fly a lot, but I'm basically going to fly unless somebody else says they want to. And if somebody wants to do it, I'll definitely go hang back. So, but yeah.
Well, we also noticed when we were all on the Polaris afterwards that, I mean, there were times when there were some of us just hanging around,
right,
waiting, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, I could have definitely been, in engineering.
I'm gonna tell you what kind of engineer Ruby's gonna be, and this is player/engineer, is that like if we were to go out and let's say we're not even going into battle, like let's say we were on the Polaris like we were last week. Ruby's the kind of person that once she's going to have her whole kit decked out. And we were talking about this earlier this week. Is like, you're going to have a build out or a loadout, whatever you want to call it, for an engineer. So an engineer, they're probably still going to have armor because just in case oxygen goes out, you're going to want a helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe you do medium armor. Maybe you just have like an undersuit or something, as long as you can have a helmet. If you think you're going to be boarded, of course, you'd probably want armor to help out.
A pistol,
yeah. But you're also... an engineer is going to have fuses on them. We found out through leaks this week that the fire extinguisher is going to go in a weapon slot,
which is great.
So you could, I guess, possibly it'll be on your back or something, and when you need it, you just pull it out.
Yeah,
and spray the fires down. You've also, let's see, we got fire extinguisher fuses. Oh, your repair gun.
Yes.
So depending on which one of those you want to use, that may be why you want to use a armor set.
A heavy armor pants.
So you can have two.
Yeah.
So you can have two slots on your back. So maybe you have the big repair tool and a fire extinguisher.
That's true.
You know, and probably also the hand one too.
Yeah.
The hand repair tool as well. So you're going to be kitted out for that. And I could see Ruby, if we ended up going on a ship like that, even if we're not under attack, I could see her going and checking all the components and topping them off.
Yeah.
You know, just being that person that's always looking at those components on the wall and just going by and checking them. Because there's going to be UI on these that shows you the life of it, and you're going to be able to go up and just top it off. And you want to keep them topped off, especially if you know you're going into battle.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. But also, we're hearing that as you're repairing, depending on the size of the component, it takes longer to do it. So don't think you're just going to go over to it and go zzz, and it's repaired.
Yeah.
You're literally going to have to sit there, and it could. I even heard someone say, I don't know if this is true, if they tested it out or not, because engineering, if you don't know, popped up in a tech preview this week for Evocati members. It is under NDA, but I'm not part of that. I'm just telling you what people have talked about, which they're okay to talk about. They just can't show footage or anything of it. But so people were saying that it could be possible that multiple people can try to repair the same tool, the same component.
I could see that. Time. I could see that.
You know,
yeah.
I don't know if that's it is now. But.
Well, think about like anytime you watched any of the like Star Trek, Star Wars movies, TV shows, you don't have just the main engineer working on.
Right.
You have like multiple people working on the warp core, or they're working on the engine or whatever it is, like they're working on it, and it's not just one person always doing it. So yeah,
Kenji, I know I've already heard people talk about the magic beam this week, so people are definitely thinking of it. But I mean, it's either going to be a magic beam or it's going to be a little mini game. I mean, would you rather go click on the power supply and a little mini game pops up and you got to sit there and try to connect wire to wire or whatever it would be? That might be more tedious. I know some people really hate mini games. We had mini games in Atlas.
Yeah.
You had to do that when you repaired the planks.
Yes.
When you were getting sunk on your ship.
Yes.
You had to go over to it and you had to hit it right at the right moment as the thing was going across the screen.
Yeah. I was the engineer. I know.
Yeah, I know. That's what, yeah,
you're
I
was the one doing that.
So
I know.
do you prefer the beam or do you prefer the mini game?
Oh, I would prefer the beam because I hate the mini game for anything. Like I hate it.
So yeah. Yeah, repair the blue. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
I play WoW, and there's some things on there where like you go over to it and it's got this crazy web thing, and you got to turn all the different web things to get it to line up before.
Yeah, it's a puzzle.
I can't stand little puzzle things like that. That's just me personally, but I think you're already going to get the mini game with hacking anyway, which we'll talk about that in a minute too. But yeah, so engineering is coming. We got off track. We were talking about the snake.
That's okay.
We did.
That's okay. That's okay.
We did get the snake, as you see here. The eye, when I was doing this one here, the eye, I couldn't reach and grab it because of how his head was almost at the ground. So I used the tractor beam to pull his eye out. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, the snake was fun. I was kind of surprised the rocks didn't bust more often. I don't know if you were surprised by that.
Yeah,
I kept expecting them to bust.
Because I was hiding behind one and it never busted. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Because the snake, the second one popped up in the pool next to me.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure it was going to bust it.
Yeah.
So
maybe the fight just didn't go on long enough.
It could have been. That could have been why.
But yeah, so
it was still fun.
We did the snake. As Ruby alluded to, after the snake, let me go ahead and pull this next footage up. We were like, okay, what do we do now? And somebody, we started doing the headhunter mission, or
no, we were looking.
We did something else.
We were looting at one of those distribution centers.
Yeah, we did that to end the night. I think the next day or one of the next days we did headhunter missions. So that was another thing we did last week, not necessarily that same Friday night.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me find this. That's not the right one. But yeah, we decided to go out and do some headhunter missions as a group. It was a little bit of overkill, but I think ultimately it was just kind of fun. There it is. Yeah, so we took I just took my, well, we were going to take Blood had a Carrack, and
Yes.
we were actually all loaded up in the Carrack. And then when we went to take off out of the hangar, it just not exploded. It just disappeared. And so it was on timer. So I was like, screw it. I got a Polaris. It's already here. Let's just take that. And I'd never, this is like one of the first missions I've ever taken my Polaris out on, because I don't own the Polaris. It's a loaner. So, for the Perseus. So yeah, so we took the Polaris to go do these. It was overkill, but we all hopped on. One of our other org mates, he came with his little fighter, and he really enjoyed landing and taking off out of the Carrack, and he kind of sat there and was watching our land crew as they were going and taking care of the mission, and he was making sure, because we did have somebody, I don't know if you can see it here, yeah, that the ship the ship above is Banson. Banson's up there with his Shiv.
Yeah. There is a third ship there that was moving. So there's two there.
So there was they didn't bother us.
Yeah, they didn't.
I mean, they probably saw all three of us here, and they were like, "Whoa, got this Polaris here." But yeah, so we kind of did that. It was kind of fun. Like I said, a little overkill, but
Well, I told Black because I know people were going to these sites and just shooting the NPCs.
Yeah.
And then just tractoring the bodies from the
ship. Yeah. Kind of cheesing it a little bit. Kind of like where Banson is up there with his Shiv. That's what they do. They literally, and Banson does it too. So
that's okay. I was like, no, no, Black, we're not going to do it that way. I was like, we have to land. We have to go up there on foot. We have to kill them, and we have to get the bodies. I was like, that's how I want to do it. I don't want to just kill them. So yeah, because the NPCs do respawn pretty quickly. Like it's not like you just kill them and they're all gone and then you're running around. Like no, you kill them and then more show up.
Yeah.
So and the dogs, it all shows up.
Yeah.
I literally had 2 dogs spawn right in front of me after I had just killed 2 guys.
Yeah, we also had server performance issues that night too.
Yeah, but still, I mean, even without that, they were still spawning pretty quickly. So yeah.
But yeah, we got a few missions done for everybody. This night here, I was actually waiting because we had a new person in our Discord who wanted to try out the mole. And so, for anybody who doesn't know, if you're new to the game, or if there's a particular gameplay feature that you haven't done before, or you want to practice at, we pretty much have you covered. We have people that have a reclaimer, mole, any of the salvage, no matter what you want to do. I mean, Ruby and I, we're kind of down for anything except for like hardcore PvP. We don't do that.
And racing, we don't do that.
And we don't race.
We don't do that.
We don't really have any racers. That's one thing we don't have. But we can find you a racer, because we also have another org that we're kind of affiliated with, and they do actually have a racing team. So, but yeah, so we had somebody who joined our Discord last week, and they were asking, they wanted to try the mole out before they purchased it. I don't know if it was in game or if they want to buy it for real, but so I was like, yeah. So he came on roughly around a little bit after this, and so we met up, and that's what we did next. So let me pull that up, because that was just a little bit of what we did. And I was kind of worried about, I haven't really mined much, because I was mining on Pyro a few months back, and the winds were like blowing my mole around. I like to do the mole solo. I mean, I'll do it with people too, but if there's nobody on, I'll just solo mole. That's what I enjoy doing if I'm mining. I like having 3 different setups on my lasers. So, but anyway, this is us doing it together. It was you, right? You helped? Yeah, Ruby and the other player. And I think his name's Dig. And so yeah, we kind of got together here, and we found a really good rock too.
We did. It was Quantanium.
Yeah, it was like Quantanium, and it was like pretty, like, I think we filled up.
Yeah, we did.
So it was a pretty good run.
Yeah, because there was like there was probably like 4 rocks, and we only needed to get 2 of them.
Yeah, we filled up.
And we didn't even fill up. We did fill up, but we didn't even get all of scoop up the second rock.
So this got me going actually Monday or Tuesday this week by myself, because selling, it wasn't too bad out here. And I noticed that the winds really wasn't blowing the mole around. I don't think they fixed that, but I think just some moons or planets are better than others when it comes to the wind being able to blow your ship. So I went out here solo Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. And I actually mined, I did 6 runs in one day.
Yeah.
And all on selling, not a single problem. So mining is definitely back on my radar. I do want to have like a Friday night org night after maybe we caught up on the current event or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to have time. If not, maybe we'll do mining when it comes to Nyx. So yeah. But anyway, that's what we did last week in the game. And now I guess it's time to move on to the actual news of the game. So let's kick it over.
So Kenji asked about the salvaging. Yes, because we did some salvaging and we had to refine it.
We did, but I had issues with it. I did find out that that mining or that salvage that I tried to turn in, I think because you did it, it was showing up as stolen for me.
Oh.
So I'm either gonna have to take it somewhere else that's shady to get it sold, or I have to
give
give
it
it back
back.
to you.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why I couldn't sell it.
Okay.
But yeah, yes, salvage already has some refining in there. The construction material, which is the stuff you break when you break the ship up, not the scraping.
Yeah.
That stuff you have to salvage. The scraping stuff you can still sell as is. And yeah, I hadn't really done salvage either. I'm kind of been boycotting salvage till they get a medium ship in there because I don't want to use a reclaimer.
But because there were so many ships at these sites for the headhunter missions,
yeah,
Black and I were like, yeah, let's just go ahead and move all these ships out of the way.
Yeah,
and let's just let's just break them down. Yeah.
Yep.
So we ended up clearing out like 5 ships.
Yeah.
In one area.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So
doing the Lord's work.
Doing Chris's work. There you
go. Lord Chris. All right. So let's go to last week. All right. Let me just pull my thing up here and get the chat window back. All right. So this is last week's newsletter. Don't really need. Yeah. Exactly, Kenji. Exactly. We talked about that last stream. All right. Nothing really big. I didn't go through it all. It wasn't like there's anything crazy. Yeah, the buyback token schedule is there. If any of you who have sold ships, you want to try to buy them back, there's that. Oh, they have a Meta Dev.
Oh, that's cool.
Favorite ship this year, Asgard. Hell yeah, he knows. Favorite landing zone, checkmate station. It is very chill nowadays.
It said definitely and it was redacted.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Right? I didn't see that. What was your favorite emission? He said Stormbreaker. Wow. I'd have to say ASD is my favorite.
Yeah, that has been fun. And you know what I had the most fun with? I know this is crazy. I mean, I definitely had fun with the research and the engineering and all that, but the second site in Pyro.
Oh, just going out to that one?
Well, because of the timer. At the very end when you're trying to print the card. We're in that room and you get waves of people. Yeah, that to me was probably the most fun because it was the most chaotic, but also like risk involved.
Yeah, so that's the one that actually goes with Stormbreaker, but it's before you actually go out and do any of that. You go and the very first part of the mission is to go out to a ASD site that's completely, it looks like it's abandoned until you go in and kill these security guys. And as soon as you kill these security guys, you got to kill like, I don't know, they keep it's kind of broken because there's like 4 guys in this little like one of the old style like mining research outpost rooms where you go and hit the
like one of the Shubin facility.
One of the Shubin facility. And you hit the refresh thing. So right there, it's a small little room and you got to kill 4 guys there, and then that's like 20%. And so they immediately like you kill them and then they immediately spawn right back in and you kill them again and you do it like 4 or 5 times. As soon as you get 100% on that though, it's like all hell breaks loose at that place.
Yes.
Like NPCs start spawning outside. They're around the landing everywhere. Pad. They're up at the building. They're inside the building.
Yes.
And then at that point you can go and there's things you can do. You can wear the lab coat to get into rooms. You can
to get the key cards.
Yeah, to get the key cards.
To go into other rooms.
Yeah, and one of the rooms you got to go to is you got to go get this. I guess it's another key card.
It is. It's another one. I think it's 4 to go out to there.
Yeah, it is. It's a key card to take you out there.
Yeah.
To where the big worm is. But yeah, so we did all that, and but yeah, you're right. That room, that very last room, it looks like it's glass, but it's not glassed in.
No.
And it's got like all these servers in there. And as soon as you put this thing in, you're having to wait for this card to print, and of course it takes, I don't know, 3 minutes, something like that.
And then it stops.
It stops at 50%.
Yes.
You know, so if
And
you're
then
not paying attention,
you have to start it again.
you have to start it again.
But
Which we didn't. We did it right.
No, we did it right because I was watching.
But you're constantly coming under fire. Like there's people shooting at you from across the way. They're trying to get to the two side doors. It's kind of crazy, but fun.
It is fun.
But yeah. So anyway, that's what his favorite one was. Ruby just told her favorite. ASD's been my favorite overall. I just like how massive that place is.
And
they did it so the atmosphere.
And the room where the 0G where you're having
the 0G room with all the switches.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
That is fun.
Yeah. And then of course you get my favorite part though is Site B because we're taking those big elevators down and there's lots of NPCs and then you got the NPCs on the big guns.
Yeah.
And they're shooting at you.
Yeah,
and now you got the snake down there and you got the crazy vandal thing and the science experiment stuff. It's really cool. All right. And all right, so he didn't pick a side. That's funny. Citizens for Prosperity or the Headhunter, staying out of it. Okay. Switzerland, we got you. All right. Any teases coming for the verse? It's not a captain's chair. Okay. Of course, the Paladin is out there. There's the one guide that Mr. Kraken put out, the one sheet guide that has all the stuff for this whole Frontier Fighters event. Phase 2 did start this week, so we're going to be doing that probably tomorrow, a little bit.
Yes.
We do have some people that are going to be out for Halloween. But yeah, we do have some people that will be there, so we're going to try to get some of those done. Those missions are going to be the asteroid thing where you wait in the cloud, and then also you got to go to the old style bunkers. And I think you got to take out or disable the new med gel dispensers they have in there.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Med room.
Yeah, I think both of those will be fun.
Yeah, both of those will be good. So, yep. All right, there's that, and then there's our sneak peek. Last week's sneak peek. I'll blow this up. Last week.
Missiles?
Torpedoes.
Torpedoes. Okay.
Yeah, see, it says torpedo.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay.
These are definitely the Perseus.
Okay.
Last week we talked about the last week's sneak peek. And we said possibly it could, because we were thinking everybody has thought automatically that's the Perseus Bridge. And then now we during the show, we kind of got the idea that maybe it's for the new RSI Hermes, which is the Apollo variant that we know is coming.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Kenji said that phase 3, he may need us.
Sweet. Kenji, see? You're gonna need us, and then you're gonna see that hey, we're not so bad.
Right.
And we're actually all right. But yeah, so that takes care of the sneak peek. Let's go ahead and move on. We knew that this week there was going to be. They announced early on, like Monday. Let's see. They announced early on, like Monday, that they were going to be doing Evocati and a tech preview for engineering. Evocati is supposed to have Nix. Evocati, as of now, is still not out. The last message we got today is up here. Says they're currently still working on 4.4 with the goal of getting a build ready by the weekend. Hopefully they get that out tomorrow. Something tells me since it's taken so long, maybe it may skip till next week. But maybe it'll get out there and we'll start to get some news on how that's going. So speaking of news on how that's going, let's go ahead and jump over. We're done with this. Let's go ahead and jump over. Oh, she's in there rooting.
I know she is.
Let's go ahead and change this video. Let's talk about engineering. So, like I said earlier, there was a tech preview for engineering. Of course, those of us, it was under NDA, but people that played it were able to talk about it. So, yeah, I get it. I get you, Kenji. Time constraints. That's the one thing. It can be tough. But yeah, so engineering is coming. Tech preview, the people that got to try it out, they got to try it out for like 6 or 7 hours. I heard a lot of good things about it. Apparently, there were some things. Everybody was wondering why it got delayed from 4.0. We heard that it was server meshing and the fact that they had a lot of tech going on and they didn't really want to get it in there. I think also they were realizing that they needed to do more with it. than what was shown here in this ISC. This ISC came out last year. I can't remember if it was October or November, but it came out, and that was the current state, and that was fine. I think many of us would have been okay with the state of engineering in this. But everyone who tried engineering out in the tech preview this week said that it's come even further than this. It looks better. Also, one of the reasons that it was delayed is because of Maelstrom. Maelstrom is the thing that is going to add like armor to ships and damage to ships, and it does more than just that. It's also about breaking things up in the world, like buildings and stuff when they're shot, things like that. Maelstrom does a lot of things, but they mentioned in the Evocati notes that ship armor wasn't in yet. It didn't make it for this build, so that tells me that yes, ship armor is being worked on. It's going to kind of change how the damage, how the ships take damage or whatnot. We do know that ballistics are going to definitely be hitting the components inside the ships, and that's going to allow
as
them,
they should.
Yeah, and that's going to allow them to break up or break down a lot more. We heard that there's a better UI that goes over all the different components. It looks better, so you can clearly see if a component's damaged or not. People got to test out fires. Apparently, there's a chance if your power plant goes critical, it can cause the ship to explode. So that
would be cool.
That's something to be aware of.
Having to, release the warp core, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, who always wanted to release the warp core, right?
I wonder if there's like a timer, like the power plant's going out, and you're like, oh crap, and you're like taking it out, and you're trying to shoot it out the back of your ship.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Speaking of shooting out the back of your ship, once you open those doors, the oxygen is being sucked out. So the oxygen and the life support and all that is important. So people like OG can't just go out there, and because OG has this thing when he's on a ship, he just turns his life support off to have that power for weapons. He's not going to be able to do that anymore because you're going to need life support, not just to breathe, but to keep the temperature down.
Yeah.
Because they said, it can get cold or, maybe even gets hot. So you need to keep your temperature at a certain range because your components can catch fire.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all those are things that are going to happen, that are going to be worked on. Some people, I got the vibe from Reddit was that most people are pretty happy with what they saw, and most people are ready for engineering. I think
that's cool.
I think this drought of features this year has people in a better mindset for engineering. So, what about you, Ruby?
I know that we keep relating it back to survival games that we played, but I know that some of the funnest things that we ever did in like Atlas is when we came under fire and you're having to rush to repair the ship before it sinks.
Yeah.
Or it took out a whole panel and you're having to replace it because water is like rushing in.
Yeah.
And so frustrating and scary, but also fun because you're like, oh my gosh, like that was really exciting. I had to go and do this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like it's the same. I mean, I'm not going to say that as a, single, like by yourself, I could give you a little anxiety there, but yeah.
Well, they do have one thing for the small ship. What's anybody really? It looks like you get like a one-time use to like if you're a pilot, this is really mainly for the smaller ships, but it does work on the bigger ships too. It's kind of you can find the component on your little screen, and it has like a little button next to it if it's under damage, and you can hit it for a one-time like fix.
Yeah.
So people that have the, even light fighters, even though they can't stop the fight and get out there and repair something, if like their shields go down or something, they got that one-time use. They can push that button. Now it's not instant because just like whenever you're doing a repair gun or something,
it's not instant.
It may take a minute to bring it back up online.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not like a quick instant fix or anything.
Again, I mean, you would have to shut the system off and say, okay, you have to reboot. Like you're going to have to give it a minute or two before we can all systems have to be offline.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like that's all realistic. Like if you watch anything, that's real.
Yep.
So.
But so we don't know when engineering is actually going to be released live. I'm hoping that next week we'll hear that they're doing another tech preview. I don't see one coming this week. Okay. Maybe it'll be a couple of weeks. Maybe they're going to take all that feedback they got and make some adjustments, and so that may take a couple of weeks. Well, I guess we'll see. Interesting enough, I think today I saw, on Instagram, the official Robert Space Industries, their little social media team, they put out a little video, and it said, we announced crafting, at CitizenCon. Are you looking forward to it, or what are you looking forward to crafting, or whatever? And I thought it was kind of crazy that they were actually showing that now, because it's almost like they're teasing that it's coming, because usually they only talk about things. Yeah. So yeah, she's got some.
Okay. She keeps.
Yeah. She's just wanting something.
Okay.
But yeah, so crafting is supposed to be going into the tech preview after engineering, but maybe it'll be with engineering, like maybe not together, but maybe they'll do like a couple of weeks of engineering, and then maybe they'll have a build that includes crafting.
Yeah.
I could see the crafting probably getting pushed through the tech preview maybe quicker than engineering. Engineering is only available currently for 71 ships. Notably, the missing, I think, was the Constellation and the Idris. The Idris is big. Any ships that are going to be missing engineering are going to have a leg up, because they're not going to be under the same rules and stuff.
That makes sense.
So hopefully they're able to get engineering to everything else. I don't know if they're going to make us wait for engineering until all the ships are in there, especially all the bigger ships. Hopefully, but definitely the Idris definitely needs to have engineering, because that's kind of crazy. But yeah, so anyway, that's engineering. That's a little bit of what was talked about. Again, we didn't want to go into too many details. I don't want to go into there were leaks about Nyx. The only thing I will say is that there are new minables coming to Nyx that are going to be found in the belt. So that's good to know. It makes Nyx a little bit more interesting, possibly. So I guess we'll hopefully learn more about Nyx, and we'll have more to talk about that next week when we get on that. So that's engineering. That's that. There is one more thing that was it's not necessary. It didn't really say that this is hacking, but there was some missions listed, and like there was like a leak about all the different missions and the possible like the verbiage that they use in the missions. And one of the things that they talked about was decrypting data blocks, and it had like decrypt data block 1, decrypt data block 2, decrypt all the way to 20 or something. To me, that sounds like it could be hacking.
Okay.
Because it talks about connecting. It talks about connecting wirelessly, and it talked about packets and all that, all these networking things.
But don't you think decrypting in itself is part of if hacking. You're decrypting it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they didn't necessarily come out and say, "Oh, this is hacking." But it sounded like you were going to have to hack or something. So, sounds pretty cool. Kenji said engineering may make him regret getting the Iron Chat assault. I mean, I think maybe a year ago I'd have probably felt like that, and I think maybe that was a question I was having, because we were talking about engineering this time last year, and this time last year is when I was moving my CCU chain up to the Perseus, and I think I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, but I knew I had Ruby to. I know that she's my engineer, but still, a Perseus takes more than just a pilot and an engineer. And so, but now this time I feel okay, because I know that we have a steady group that we play with.
Mm-hmm.
And so engineering is going to make our Friday nights, or whenever we play, weekends or whatever, a lot more fun. I have the Iron Chat assault as well, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see if they're going to actually include any of that. I think you're going to be able to repair components or something in that. So I'm looking forward to see if that's going to come with the Iron Chat, or if it won't come right away. Maybe a little bit of crafting would be nice. I think the Iron Chad is one of those ships that when it releases, it's going to be like a big seismic shift. Kind of like the Polaris. The Polaris was like a big seismic shift in ship gameplay and stuff. I think the Iron Chad or Ironclad is another one like that. And I think it's going to be pretty good, especially the assault, if we're able to do some repair on things and maybe even crafting. So looking forward to it for sure. I did mention that the Hermes was discussed. They did say something about, there was some leak about the Hermes, about it having missile racks. So we know that it's cargo and missile now. Again, no pictures or anything. It was just a little blurb about it. But yeah, so that's pretty much all of the news for Star Citizen. Don't really have anything else. It was kind of a slow week. I mean, despite the fact that there were like tons of leaks about, Knicks, a lot of the stuff about Knicks we already knew. We already knew about, what was coming and what isn't for the most part. So yeah, I think we kind of covered the leaks okay. We didn't really, we definitely everything that we covered is definitely out there and people have already talked about it. Some people have actually shown stuff that they shouldn't have shown, but yeah, so that's a whole other topic.
Yeah. No, we just stay
Anyway,
stay in our lane.
We definitely appreciate you coming out here on this Halloween Eve. I'm ready to get this helmet off. I know I'm kind of fronting here because I'm not a great combat pilot. It was just,
It's a really nice outfit.
It was a decent thing. Yeah, I want to get the chest thing for it, so maybe I'll have that by next year. I also need boots because I'm wearing slippers with these, and my son told me that these aren't the official shoes, and I was like, hey, X-wing pilot's got a kickback too. So
that's right.
And hopefully next year too for Halloween, Ruby will have more of this.
Yeah.
So
so aggravated.
Nice. Maybe we'll be at that point. We'll be able to do the 3D print. And we'll get your
armor
pieces too.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I have to do my armor pieces too.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, that is the show. Definitely check us out every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We are streaming live, YouTube and Twitch. I'll also release this usually Friday to Saturday-ish, so you can listen to it or watch it at your own time. But anyway, we thank you very much, Kenji. Hope to see you, in game at some point in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
You're definitely welcome. We don't have any Iron Chads in our group that are
not at all
asshats. Ruby will run them off if we
That's
do.
not true, but Ruby just puts herself on mute and doesn't talk. If that's the case.
But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, guys. And we will see you all next week. Take care.